Cards and Comic Show. Welcome back to Cards and Comics. Today I have a vintage sports card mail day. It's going to be multi-sport, and I'm going to start here. The only hockey card I picked up this time around, but it's a cool one. It's a 1962 Parkhurst Gordie Howe. I'm a big fan of these Parkhurst cards. Probably one of my second favorite. 63 is my favorite, but just cool looking cards. I love the yellow, and this is a really nice bright color on this card, so I'm really happy to have this one. I only do a few players, and he's definitely one of them. Moving on to kind of some fun cards here that I'm almost done with my set. I'm missing one big player in this set, and I'll be done, actually. It's kind of weird. I think there's 16 cards in this team set, but it's my 61 Kahn's Pirate team set. So I have picked up a lot of the cards recently. Someone listed quite a few of these cards, pretty reasonable. I picked up the 61 Maz earlier this year, and now I've got the 61 Bob Skinner in a PSA 6. And again, for people who don't know the backs, these backs do have stats. So I have the Bob Skinner. Some of these cards have pretty good grades. Don Hoke on a PSA 7. And again, these all have tremendously low pop counts. There's not a card here, I think, that has over like 30 to 40 cards ever been graded. Don Hoke, PSA 7. Chino Samoli and a PSA 8. Again, these are pretty high grade. Honestly, for the price I paid, I mean, in some cases I was paying like $75 to $60 a card for some of these. I felt like it was really cheap, even like I think $150 for maybe the 8. For cards that are this rare. Just tough. I know, I think in 61 you could send in for a set without having to go through the packs. But still, these are oversized and kind of really hard cards to see. Getting these cards this many years and still pretty darn good condition. And then Glenn Nelson and a PSA 8. And he's more commonly known as Rocky Nelson. So when I first saw this card, I'm like, Glenn Nelson? I don't recognize him. And I'm like, oh, it's Rocky Nelson. I think they even put, Rocky right there. So it is Rocky Nelson. So there you go. Like, I've got, 4 new 61 Cons cards for my Pirate team set and a couple of 8s, a 7, and a 6. The last card I need for my set is the Clemente. So I have hoping to land one soon. Obviously, really tough card to land. But yeah, that's definitely on my 2024 bucket list to get that 61 Cons Clemente. I did get a 62 recently, so my first Cons Clemente was a 62. Now I'm hoping to get a 61 to complete that set. Moving on to some just fun 60s and 70s cards. I picked up an SGC 7 Lou Brock. I also have this in an SGC 8. I remember the 8 I got, I thought it slipped under this holder a little bit. So I've got now as a 7. With PSA and SGC being owned by the same company now, I'm hoping they do some crossover specials either way. But the biggest thing I hope for is that they allow SGC cards to be listed on set registries, because I have a lot of mixed SGC PSA sets and cards. In fact, that 61 Cons team set I've got is a mix of both SGC and PSA as well. So I would love to be able to register it underneath one registry set. We'll see what they do, how they handle SGC cards in the registry. It'll be interesting to see how PSA is going to handle that. Next up is a really clean copy of this card. 76 Hank Aaron. This is the first Hank Aaron card I ever owned as a kid. I got it at a card show, and it was in beautiful condition. I remember a dealer gave me more for it than the Beckett value, because I didn't want to get rid of it. It was my only Hank Aaron card, and probably back then it was like a $25 or $40 card, and the guy's like, I'll give you, $50 or $60 for that card, because it was so nice. I think he knew, like, hey, that card probably going to grade real high, because I wasn't really into grading or thought about grading, when I was in high school and college. And grading really had just started. So maybe or maybe not, but it was interesting. He gave me more than the card was worth. And Beckett. Now, what it's worth on the open market, who knows? But this is a really nice 7. I mean, I'm looking at it like, yeah, that's pretty good. I don't know. It's got little corner dings here. It may be the technical grade of a 7. But it's got really nice eye appeal color. Pretty cool. Pretty cool card, and it's probably one of my favorite, again, Aaron cards, just because it was one of my first ones I ever got. Next up is a 68 Cepeda 9. So again, you don't see a lot of 9s on my collection. I thought this was just a good deal, and I went ahead and snagged it. I always love getting 60s 9s of these kind of like players who aren't top tier Hall of Famers, just because I just have a feeling that 9s are going to be just harder to get, eventually. And I think there's going to be set registry guys who want to do a 9 set. So maybe they'll go up in value a little bit. Now, this is kind of one of my more fun pickups of the month. 64 Aaron and Mays. I don't have this card. 7.5. So it's definitely a good value compared to what an 8 or a 9 would cost, or an 8.5. And again, it wasn't overly cheap, but it was definitely, to me, a good value. And I really love the card. And it's one of the cool combo cards of the 60s, the Aaron and Mays on one card. And I like the fact that it's not like a league leader, which is like a headshot. This is like, I think this is at the All-Star game or something like that, when they do some of these photos. But anyway, just a really fun card. And tops in National League, definitely, for sure. Just a kind of a fun O-Pee-Chee card here. 79 McCovey. Love the O-Pee-Chee backs. A lot of fun there with this 79 O-Pee-Chee. Hard to find centered. Next up is 2 more 7.5s. First one is a 62 Frank Robinson All-Star. 62s are so hard to get in shape. They're one of the toughest 60s cards to find in high grade. And I love the All-Star cards. I need a Hank Aaron, honestly. So love getting the Frank Robinson in the 7.5. Next up is a really cool Tony Oliva. 7.5 as well. And the 66, which is another tough year. I've talked about it a lot. I buy a lot of 62s and 66s and 71s as well, if I find them in the right shape. And I will get multiples, because those are some tough years to find some of these cards. So here you go. Really nice, well-centered, cool Tony Oliva. PSA 7.5. And last but not least, another All-Star card of Frank Robinson. I got the 61 and the 62 in this pile. And again, another pretty well-centered 61. So, really quick mail day. It's a little off-center on the back. You can really see it here. But some border left there. So I'm not sure PSA would really hit it too much. But there you go. That's, the mail day for some vintage cards. Obviously, no football this time around. Hope to get some football. I've got some on my list I'm watching. So maybe I'll do some vintage football cards next time. But I got some really cool, really high-end, modern, or not modern, but 90s cards coming in. So, a lot of fun. And I'm on my way to Germany. I'll hopefully do some videos from there, including probably posting this one. And we'll talk to you guys next time from Germany. And see you on Cards and Comics. Bye.